136, bottom paragraph, 136. Vilo hayinu yichol lahasig amitis inyano. If we were able to grasp the truthfulness of his essence of God, without depicting him in human form, his ability. God is happy, God is sad, God is powerful, God is kind, God is merciful, God is compassionate, all these various depictions. Look, no de elenu b'zuloso. B'kev shenimnu sichlei na'asogas amiti nyano. Our intelligence to grasp the truthfulness of his being. So we speak about his glory, God's glory. He's the God of who? Who's God? Hashem Elokei Yisrael. That's who he is. He's the God of all the creations, Yisrael, or the human being. The speaking creatures and the ones who cannot. Moshe Rabbeinu v'shol be'shisholo v'omri mashmo ma'om aliyim. When Klal Yisrael asked me, what is his name, what should I say to them? He's explaining it differently than the Maral here. Why is Moshe saying that, Hashem? God is not fathomable. So when I say the salvation. Came Shiod Hashem Hazel lo Yovin Ho'om Mimenu Abita Sinyo. Here, so Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't satisfied with that. I will be with you. It's too vague. Moshe Rabbeinu says, but still, he said afterwards, Eker, Asher Eker. This is my that if they don't grasp what God is from the first communication, you know who I am? It's the God of your forefathers. Right? Something that's a given. No. Something that we already have part of a tradition. We don't even have to think about it. But something which is a new level of introduction, which we're not accustomed to, so either you get it or you don't get it. So he says, if you don't understand, based on God as the God of your forefathers.
What is the ayah?
Hashem only provides only all the appellations of Hashem. Ko, Kale, Shaka, Yudke, Vovke. Each one is a no. It's only how he interacts with existence. Relate to infinite. You can't relate to infinite. But in terms of how he relates to us, he is the one who is merciful to us. He's kind to us. He's compassionate to us. He created this existence. We're not going to understand how he created existence, what the process is. There's no way to, that's beyond our grasp. Of his being. What emanates from his being? That's how we perceive him. Right? Like you say, people say, God is kind. Is God kind? He acts kindly. When you say a person's kind, he is a kind person. That's the essence of the person. Person. No, the people have a certain limited capacity. What is the best way to impress upon them that they should actually embrace this? Right now, they're paganistic. So how could I somehow overcome this barrier, that they should embrace that I am the agent of the Creator. That's what he wants. What is his name? Which means, how do we relate to him? What's his essence? Not what's his essence. Not the essence. You're not. No. Name is the way he relates. No, name. That's the way he relates. No. When you say God is the Creator, it's not his essence. That's what he did. Is the essence, right? So when he said, when he had, what's his name means, how will he relate to us? How is he going to interact with us? That's the question. But if that is too much for them, even that's beyond them, say, it's the God of their forefathers. So they had the tradition from that they're aware of. What is it? It's irrelevant. But I know my grandfathers, others, this, he took care of them, he'll take care of us. No, Pokut Yifkod is no. Those were the cold words of the Redeemer. One sec. Vashen mitzara kabola min avos k'voshono omer hakosuf shechachomim yagidu v'lo chichudu me'avosam. It's a pasuk in Iyov. What the wise relate, do not conceal from their fathers. That's tradition. See that. This is so vital. You know, one time Jews, they weren't observant. So what was the connection to Yiddishkeit? Tradition. They knew nothing. They couldn't even read Hebrew. Maybe they could say the Kaddish. This is before transliteration. Right? Kaddish they knew how to say. But outside of that, but there was a Jewishness. What was the Jewishness? It was the tradition. Well, they remembered a grandfather, they remembered Yom Kippur, they remembered a Yizkor, whatever they remembered. Did they understand it? It already has been validated. They don't question it. But what happens if that totally fades out? So where do you start from? You're starting from zero. You're beginning with nothing. So now I have to convince you. Convincing is not so simple. What happens if it's too much for you to embrace? Then the person is lost. Is lost. This is the difference between Sephardic Jews and Ashkenazic Jews, and that's why this is what the communists did to the Jews in Russia. They destroyed tradition, that there was no zecher. There was no trace of what was before. So therefore, it's like starting all over again, right? They're atheistic. Some of them still remember the grandmother who spoke Yiddish. Some of them. But the ones who didn't even have that they spoke Yiddish, or looked a certain way, they were lost. And to get them back on track, it's nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. No, the Enlightenment still, but there was at least culture. It was cultural Judaism. It's cultural Judaism. They still had a Purim. They still had a Hanukkah. They had certain things they had. They had certain things. Right? They made a mockery of mitzvahs. Tzitzis. They called it, the whole idea of tzitzis being laundry string, that came from the Enlightenment movement. It's laundry strings. You get all entangled in it, Okay, let's see the Gemara. I'll explain.